Good evening, folks. Today we have a very esteemed panelist from the very esteemed Pandit Deendayal Petroleum University, which made its foundation with a combined vision and leadership of the Prime Minister of India and then Chief Minister of Gujarat, Sri Narendra Modi, and one of the top industrialists, Dr. Mukesh Ambani, to become this an excellent and a prominent university. PDPU offers multiple courses in engineering sciences, management, humanities, and social sciences. The primary focus areas for university are to ensure energy for all, creating a large social impact, and preparing the youth for tomorrow. The university has been accredited as NAC A grade with CGPA of 3.39 out of 4. It has been approved by UGC, AICTE, and recognized by SIRO. PDPU is one of the only private universities in the list of 62 universities awarded the graded autonomy by the UGC in 2018. And with us in the panelists, we have with us Dr. Sunil Khanna, the Director of School of Technology at the Pandit Deendayal Petroleum University. Professor Sunil is a fellow of the Association of Microbiologists and was the president of the Association of Microbiologists of India in 2016. He's a member of a number of societies in India and abroad, and has also worked as the editor-in-chief of Indian Journal of Microbiology from 1993 to 1996. His publications include 75 papers in peer-reviewed journals and books, 85 papers in conference proceedings and meetings, 20 technical reports, 3 reviews in books, and 2 books by his name. Professor Sunil has also completed 24 research projects as a principal investigator funded by the bilateral UNDP, Ford Foundation, IDRC Canada, any NATO, Japan, and national institutions, MNRE, EST, ONGC, DPT, to name a few. He has supervised 24 research scholars for their doctoral degree. A very warm welcome to you, Dr. Khanna.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Nigam Dave, the Director and Professor of School of Liberal Arts. Dr. Dave is looking after various academic and administrative profile in PDPU. He has visited Australia, US, Canada, Singapore, and Malaysia as a member of academic and government delegations. He has visited a number of international universities and is at the helm of the things in collaborating with these universities and also actively sustaining these collaborations. He has been awarded the honorary rank of Colonel by the NCC India. He is currently also the head of Office of International Relations at the PDPU. Very warm welcome, Dr. Dave. And the Director General, Dr. Sundar Manoharan, a renowned educationist, scientist, and an administrator, obtained his doctoral degree from the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, in the year of 1991. And after his postdoctoral fellowship, he served at the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, as a professor between 96 to 2014, and as a vice chancellor of the Collegedunia University, Coimbatore, Periyar Manima University, and Satyamba University between Feb 2018 to till Feb 22. Very warm welcome, Dr. Manoharan.
Yes, thank you.
So, regarding the proceedings, we'll start off with the very basic, fundamental regarding the vision of Pandit Deendayal Petroleum University for next 5 years for the people who have joined us. So, the very first thing that we would want Dr. Manoharan to put in is the vision for PDPU for next 5 years.
Sure. Hello, viewers. Good evening. It's a joy to be with you in this panel along with my colleagues, Professor Nigam and Professor Khanna. It's a pleasure to share our views about PDPU. And in the present context, we want to share with you how relevant we are, both in terms of the vision of higher education institutions across India and also in the core engineering areas, how we have transcended from being a petroleum institute all the way graduating to a globally ranked university. To just share our perspective about where we stand and what we are looking forward to, I just want to take you through few slides and give you an idea as to how we have positioned ourselves to empower the younger generation. So if there is time, I would like to share a few slides for your brief attention. What you see is this lovely campus, PDPU, which is spread over 100 acres, and we have actually been steered by a good motto called the reservoir of knowledge. PDPU is definitely a reservoir of knowledge, both in terms of manpower and also the human resource that we develop. This is a beautiful 100-acre campus which offers all branches of engineering, including petroleum engineering technology as one of the prime branches. But otherwise, all the engineering branches are also being offered here. And we also have sciences, commerce, management, and liberal arts coming as one of the most prime schools in the campus. This was established through the State Act in April 2007. So we are a very young university, but we are being driven by purpose, with vision and mission by our president of the court, Mr. Mukesh Ambani, who is not only a philanthropist, but he is also prime technologies in the country as of today. And therefore, his vision, along with our Prime Minister, as Mr. Singh pointed out, our Prime Minister envisioned that PDPU should be part of the knowledge hub as a part of Vibrant Gujarat vision. And therefore, this was a serious engagement with the government of Gujarat and with other stakeholders who are primarily contributing to the energy sector of our country. And therefore, the main vision is to be an internationally renowned institution imparting excellent education with experiential learning. And to drive home, we have specific missions. And I think we, in the last 13 years, we have almost driven the vision through this mission in letter and in spirit. I just want to briefly take you through the other slides. We are ably supported by Professor Mashelkar, one of the leading technologists. We also have Mr. Rajagopalan, the ex-Chief Secretary of Government of Gujarat, helping us with the steering committee. As you see here, we have 4 major schools, SPM, SPT. SPM is the petroleum management, petroleum technology, and also we have School of Technology and School of Liberal Arts, Liberal Studies. Apart from these 4 schools, we have very massive infrastructure through the Center of Excellence, especially those of geothermal, solar, innovation and incubation, Siemens Center of Excellence, biofuels, and recently the Maruti Suzuki International Center for Excellence. I think I'm missing out on the slide. If I can see the slide, please. Okay. I think I lost the slides. Okay, I got it. Let me quickly run through the next slide. Yeah, Mr. Singh already introduced the salient features of our university, but I just want to put in perspective. One of the chief question is, what do we do regarding COVID today as a university, and how we are going to position ourselves in the post-COVID situation? Definitely, we have not been a mute spectator. We have seen several challenges that our society was facing in terms of predictive analytics or diagnostics or therapeutics. Our university has gone in a big way, and I'm very proud to share that PDPU has stood with this humanity in our fight against COVID-19. Already you can see some patented contributions which are listed here. We have developed a indigenous Make in India ICU ventilators, which the government recently approved. And along with our industry partner, we are going for production. We have also worked on several issues, especially on the rationale for drug delivery systems and repurposing of drugs which are currently being used for COVID-19. This is one of the product line on COVID ventilator, which has been endorsed by the government of India, which we will take forward, and we will make sure that this is offered in a very affordable price. These are some of the salient features of our university. You can see, in addition to various establishments that we have, we also have an international center for automotive engineering, and this is in collaboration with Maruti Suzuki. We have invested over 75 crores to establish state-of-the-art facility, which will give a hands-on for the students. So it's going to be more of experiential learning for the students when they come in. These are industrial robotics for welding, used by both the electrical engineering students and mechanical engineering students. Automobile engineering students will have a hands-on into these facilities. We also have a 4.5 acre solar farm, which is connected to the grid, and we are supplying the power to government of Gujarat. And we have established several other facilities, including geothermal and for biofuels, and also in the materials engineering. So with these few words, I would like to share with you that we are in the process of establishing a TREC called Translational Research Center, PDPU TREC, which will solely work on providing solutions for complex engineering problems. And this is our focus for the next 5 years. And we are ably supported by a very good bunch of faculty members who have a lot of expertise. Most of them have come from IITs and NITs, and also from after postdoc from abroad universities. So that is the richness, and that is the premium that we have in PDPU to offer. Thank you.
Great, Dr. Mulana. Dr. Khanna, if we can have your viewpoint as well regarding the vision of PDPU for next 5 years, and how PDPU as a premier Indian university is prepared to lead in the post-COVID-19 world.
As Professor Manoharan said, we are now into the next phase of development. And for the next 5 years, one of the strategies the School of Technology has adopted is to focus on Industry 4.0, which is nothing but automation and use of robotics and AI and machine learning. This is in association with also the digital transformation which is now sweeping the country. And particularly post-COVID, I think digital transformation is showing us the path in every sector, be it education, be it manufacturing, be it services. Along with it, right from inception, PDPU has been associated with sustainability. And therefore, the strategy of the School of Technology is to look at a sustainable development through digital transformation leading to Industry 4.0.
That's pretty much summed up. Dr. Dave, are you with us? I think we don't have Dr. Dave with us. Anyway, Dr. Khanna, regarding the delivery of education, how PDPU has actually changed its modus operandi of delivering of the education amidst the pandemic, and how the lecture delivery is going to happen once the colleges or the universities reopen?
Okay, so see, the whole thing was that COVID was unexpected. Yet, within the first week, which is we started the lockdown on 25th, but we started delivering our lectures through a synchronous platforms.
Yeah.
So online virtual teaching commenced right from the first week of the lockdown and continued till the end of May. Now, what did we do? We had video recordings. We had synchronous platforms in which we used various platforms, whether it was a Zoom, whether it was a Meet or a Microsoft, to be in contact with the students.
Yeah.
And therefore, the blended learning. Now, all of this was fine when it came to lectures. But what about practicals? We have now started working on virtual labs now, and therefore the next semester, which starts now somewhere towards the third week of July, the students will be trained through the virtual lab experimentation so that they don't miss on the concept of working with their own hands. And this is not only in case of computer science or information technology, but is also going to be there in electrical engineering, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and all branches of engineering. So these are the things that we have adopted. Therefore, using the whiteboards, the flipped classroom concept, and all of these technologies so that the students do not discontinue the learning process, the knowledge gathering process. After every 3 or 4 lectures, the students, we have interactive sessions, which are the sort of tutorial sessions where we look at what are the difficulties the students have faced and resolve those difficulties. And therefore, to a very large extent, the students do not feel completely the absence of learning during this last 100 days.
Okay. Dr. Nigam Dave, are you with us, sir? I think there's some technical snag due to which we are not able to reach out to Dr. Manoharan or Dr. Nigam Dave here. Let's continue then anyway. So there are surely some financial implications of this COVID situation, and it is all the more important to make education more affordable. In the view of this, do you see special scholarship opportunities that PDPU is planning to provide this year for the new aspirants who are taking admission in PDPU?
Okay, so PDPU as an institution was always socially connected and therefore always had in mind the concept of providing assistantship or scholarship, if that's what you are talking about. Yeah. So PDPU had a merit scholarship, which was awarded, as the word suggests, merit, to the top 10% of the students based on the performance that they had in the JEE exam. Because as you would be aware, the admission to the All India quota in PDPU is through the JEE rank.
Yeah.
50% of the seats are reserved for the Gujarat students, which is through ACPC. In both cases, merit was considered as a primary candidate and therefore scholarships were being awarded. Then we had the means and the merit scholarship, both for the reserved category and as well as for the girls. We wanted to encourage women empowerment, and therefore these scholarships are available to the students, to the girls. A half tuition fee waiver is available to a certain percentage. Not only that, based on your performance at the end of first year, the students can also get scholarship from second year onwards. This is the top 10 students of every branch will get scholarship based on the CGPA that they have obtained in the first 2 semesters. So there is always that incentive for the students to work hard and outshine others in terms of performance. Similarly, at the end of first year, the merit cum mean scholarship is also available to students. And therefore, PDPU as an institution looks at students in terms of giving them assistantship so that nobody is deprived of knowledge.
Great. So merit-based scholarships is what PDPU is offering. Sir, the question that comes regarding the admission process. Are there any changes specific to admission processes to make the admission process as seamless amidst this COVID situation? Are there any changes that have taken place?
No, so the admission process at PDPU, as I said before, 150% of the seats through ACPC, which is governed by the government of Gujarat, and they have just opened their admission process through this means. The second 50%, the All India quota, is through the JEE rank. And the JEE rank in case of PDPU is, it doesn't go into 3 digits. It is within 2 digits of the ranking that you have of JEE. Now, already the first JEE exam has been completed in January, so many of the students would have, aspirants would have given that exam. The second exam, now they have, the NTA has just announced that in September, they will conduct the second JEE main exam. The admission is only through JEE mains.
Okay. And considering the situation that JEE itself is getting postponed, and do we see any deadlines coming up for the application?
So some of the students, those who have given the January main exam, JEE main exams in January, will be admitted on the basis of the rank that they have in that exam, while the rest of the students, the seats are still available. And once the second JEE exam is completed in September, the admission would be given to them based on their performance in the JEE main.
Okay, that's it. Dr. Manoharan, are you back with us?
Yes.
Dr. Manoharan? Anyway, wait. Let's wait a little more time for Dr. Manoharan to come back here. Dr. Khanna, let's continue our conversation. And sir, if you can help the students to know what are the top companies which have been visiting PDPU for the campus life year on year, and in which all sectors the students actually get placed and have the internship at PDPU.
Okay, so I'll go back one step in terms of our pedagogy. If you now look at there are 8 semesters in the BTech. The 7th semester, every student of PDPU goes and works in an industry to gain an experience and prepare themselves. Now, which are the industries which we have been working with? In terms of chemical engineering, if I look, Honeywell, L&T Technology Services, Infosys, then we have Reliance Industry. In case of mechanical, the Adani Gas, the Sun Edison, Sabarmati Torrent Gas. In terms of computer science, we have people from Infosys, Wipro, TCS, Accenture. All of these major IT majors are coming to the campus and recruiting our people. In electrical engineering, the MG Motors, the Adani Power, Tata Power, Torrent Power. So when we look at the gamut of industries that are associated with PDPU, it's a wide spectrum. Now, has the situation changed because of COVID? No. We have been in touch with these industries and they have said, we will continue to work with you.
That's great.
To see how we could now look at the students rather than on a face-to-face interaction using technology to interview these people and take them in their system.
That's a very good news to hear, specifically for the aspirants for PDPU. Dr. Khanna, we have about 900 people which are currently live, and many more will join in next few more minutes or so. The students who are looking out for the study abroad, do you think universities like such as yours are actually going to have benefits and getting a lot more talent considering this COVID situation, because students will be preferring to be at home and maybe joining universities such as PDPU?
Can I answer?
Yeah, please go ahead, Professor Dave.
Dr. Dave, please. Good to have you back, sir.
Yes. I felt tempted to answer because I look after Office of International Relations at PDPU.
Great, sir. Great.
So the first step to internationalization is exposure. And we are very confident that with the types of collaborations that we have and the online resources available, that orientation to best practices of partnering universities can be given on virtual platform even in India, irrespective of whether the students are on campus or at their home. Now, this is easier as there's no cost per student or number of restrictions which come with visit to partnering universities abroad. So I consider this to be a blessing in disguise. As far as travel grant that we have been providing for international paper presentation, we will continue doing it for e-presentation too. So students desirous for study abroad to countries that have when the travel restrictions are lifted, we will continue supporting them. And then we will continue supporting them. And we had in the last 3 months procured Coursera license for students. And I'm glad to share the detail that we have access to 3,800 courses, 5,000 licenses, and 1,338 students have spent 21,638 hours on Coursera for various prestigious universities. So we'll look forward to extend this too. Moreover, I'm optimistic that this phase will also provide new solutions across the world.
That's pretty great. Dr. Dave, since you're back, there's a specific question that we would want you to answer, since you are the director of School of Liberal Arts. It's regarding the modus operandi of delivering of the education and amidst this pandemic, and how the lecture delivery is going to happen for the School of Liberal Arts.
See, the liberal arts pedagogy is not just flexible in the curriculum-wise aspect, but also the types of faculty that we have and the resource that we have. I don't see any difficulty in coping up with the COVID-19 phase, because as Professor Khanna and Professor Manoharan were sharing, even right from April, we have been conducting our classes very regularly, and the experience and response from students has been very good. Of course, we have made certain changes in pedagogy for papers like performing arts or music. Like those papers need innovation. So we are right now in the process of coming up with a production online of Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream. So all these experiments have been done, and most of the students are very, very happy with that.
That's great. Dr. Manoharan, welcome back. So if you can highlight that how PDPU is making the students more job ready. So they are making more students ready for the industry. Like even Dr. Khanna mentioned that Industry 4.0 is the revolution of Industry 4.0 is going on. How are we making PDPU students ready for the industry?
Okay. Of course, the usual route is to have a placement center, and we have a concerted program right from the second semester. We train them in the soft skills aptitude, which any recruiter is looking for. But our preparation of our students for industry is beyond the basic skills. We have a very active innovation incubation council, especially in this COVID situation. One of the mandatory requirement is the industry experience during the transition between second year to third year, which is mandatory. They have to work in an industry. And this time, particularly because of COVID, we couldn't really trade our students into any of the industries. So what do? This is where the IIC, our Innovation Incubation Council at PDPU, really came forward with a mass level hackathon event, which almost absorbed nearly 1,300 students, and nearly 300 teams were formed. And all the recruiters, instead of taking our students into their campuses, they came into our campus and posted nearly 120 problem sets. And our 300 odd teams were on a week-long hackathon. And just last week, we finally scrutinized all the solutions that the teams have provided, and we listed the best 30. And out of the 30, we have made some 6 finalists. Now, these 30 best innovations are really ready for the industry to absorb. These are real technical solutions which are getting patented. Now, this is the culture that we develop. Even in a post-COVID situation, we don't know how we will give them industry training, but we are very thankful to our leading industry partners who have come into our domain and who have thrown the challenges, and our students have literally solved the industry-related problems. So this is one way that we have tried to keep them camera ready for the recruiters. And now, if this situation continues, we will go for more innovative ways where industry will partner with us, and they will co-opt in training our students who are in the third year. And we are very confident. As I showed you one or two of the slides, Maruti Suzuki is there, British Petroleum is there, Adani Group is there, Reliance is there, and all major industries in petroleum, automobile, mechanical, civil, they are all already on board, and Siemens Center of Excellence. So pretty much we give them hands-on training which is relevant to the Industry 4.0 and as well as what the recruiters are really looking for. So in my viewpoint, I think despite this pandemic situation, we will still train them in the way the industry is looking for. But certainly, the online engagement is limited. So at some point of time, the experiential learning will bring our students back to the campus, and we are just waiting for the government to help us, and we will be able to get them on board and train them, with the experiments as well.
Great. That also brings to me the question, which is very much, making people job ready. Can we build more entrepreneurs from PDPU? Can we expect more entrepreneurs or startups building from PDPU?
We already have 72 startups in our campus, and we really want to thank several stakeholders who are really shouldering this responsibility. And in a big way, Government of Gujarat has really recognized us. DST has recognized us, and in the recent past, we are also in dialogue with Atal Incubation Mission, Mission, who are willing to fund our community centers. Therefore, we will be able to really raise many student entrepreneurs. In fact, this recent hackathon also, we have identified nearly 30 groups. So to say, nearly 120 students will be really trained for a comprehensive innovation plan, which means we will identify the startup grant. Startup grant is given by PDP, by the way, and we will co-opt our other stakeholders to also provide, and we will take them up to a situation where they will register their own company, and we will groom them for a year.
That's great, Dr. Khanna. If you can help us with more insights regarding building entrepreneurship at PDPU.
Okay, so if we look at from a perspective, research and the inquisitiveness is inculcated into the students right from the first semester itself.
Mm-hmm.
While teaching a course, the practical hands-on experience becomes extremely important.
Yeah.
And therefore, along with it, we have research grants which are given to the students. Almost 1.5 crore rupees every year is given as research grants, about 2 lakh of rupees every student, those who qualify for it, will get that money. This brings in a concept of innovation. This brings in a concept of research. Mm-hmm. And then, along with the incubation center that we have, in the past, this is the third hackathon which Professor Manoharan was talking about, which was related to COVID-19 pandemic. Mm-hmm. And what are the various solutions we could provide? But before that, we had already conducted 2 more hackathons. Mm-hmm. And in each case, we had participation of almost about 900 to 1,000 students. Mm-hmm. And this led to a situation where in the past 2 or 3 years, the IIC, the Incubation Center, as Professor Manoharan said, there are 72 entrepreneur companies which have been formed many of them are students of PDPU. And many of them have a turnover of a few $1 billion. So you are looking at an ecosystem in PDPU which encourages the student to think differently. Now we are already in Gujarat, which is known for its own trade. You know, the community, the entrepreneurship spirit is always there in Gujarat. Yeah. Combine it with a facilitation, combine it with an ecosystem. Yeah. And now you have a ready-made mixture which students are willing to take, and that has what has led to the support from various government, both government of Gujarat as well as the central government. DST has recognized it as a center of incubation. Professor Manoharan was just talking about the Atal incubation thing. So, you know, these are the ones which promote and provide the student the flexibility. While they are still studying, they are able to start an enterprise, work on the enterprise, and continue to develop.
Great. The keyword that I'm taking up from your narrative is the research bit, and which is what I would want Dr. Nigam to shower some thoughts on the fact that how PDPU encourages research studies among its students. Are there any statistics that you would want to highlight that what initiatives has PDPU taken to build and inculcate research studies among the students of PDPU? Dr. Dave.
See, we would not want to be known. We would not want to be known as a teaching university only. Although we are catering to a large mass of undergraduate education, but the type of quality students that we get, we have the orientation to become the leading research university. And as you correctly pointed out, and what both Professor Khanna and Professor Manoharan were also saying, right from the first semester itself, students are exposed and encouraged to avail the Office of Research and Sponsored Projects help. Now, this is at a very young age that the seeds of research are sown in the minds of undergraduate students under the mentorship of faculty. And we also encourage students not to be in a hurry to publish, because if the research has a lot of potential, then PDPU also facilitates them to register for and secure patents. So that's something that PDPU has been doing wonderfully to explain to students that their research should ultimately culminate into the commercially viable patent. Having said that, we also have the system in both engineering as well as in liberal arts of having either the comprehensive project, which comes in a form of dissertation, and for liberal arts, all undergraduate students are also supposed to submit the dissertation. along with the proper conduct through the open house defense and everything. Even during COVID-19 situation, the students had to defend their dissertations online. So all in all these activities plus the ecosystem of university help students to nurture the research activities and the outcome-based research.
Great. Dr. Manohar, your thoughts on PDPU encouraging research studies among the students?
Come again. Your thoughts on?
PDPU encouraging research studies among the students.
Basically, the research is inculcated right from the UG because now in the PDPU BTech curriculum, we have incorporated interdisciplinary research project and the course in the 4th semester and 6th semester, which is very unique. Usually, the students are encouraged to do the project only in the 8th semester. And in the 8th semester, usually you have the placement already done in the 7th semester. And therefore, much of their research temper is not evaluated by the recruiters. So to facilitate and to make sure that our students are focused on solving industry problem and to do research on industry-oriented problems, we have introduced a 3-credit project work as a mandatory exercise in the 6th semester itself. So that is going to inculcate more of a industry research-oriented learning, where they might take topics from the industry or industry will post certain challenges to the PDPU which will be listed, and the students are meant to do interdisciplinary. In fact, they should have mentors across these groups so that they get exposure beyond their core branch of engineering. So that's one way of inculcating a research temper. But PDPU has consciously introduced 7 MTech programs, MSc programs this year as new courses because we want to increase more of research. And therefore, postgraduate courses are aimed for more research-oriented learning. And therefore, we have increased 7 new MTech courses this year, which attest to our emphasis on research. Moreover, this year our PhD application is really huge against the allotted number of seats. So we are going forward to enhance our research recruitment also. And you may like to know that none of the full-time PhD students work without scholarship. Everybody is provided scholarship at the PDPU campus. And therefore, we encourage full-time research, and we are also providing all the research facilities and the scholarships that they need. And therefore, in 3 to 4 years' time, I think we will have over 500 full-time PhD scholars working in our campus.
I think that's a great development there. Dr. Khanna, how updated is the technology infrastructure of the university, and how can that be leveraged in this post-COVID-19 environment?
Can you repeat the question, please?
So regarding the question is, how updated is the technology infrastructure of the university, specifically talking about the automobile engineering and civil engineering? How updated is the technology infrastructure, and how can that be leveraged in post-COVID environment?
Okay, so in terms of infrastructure, PDPU has always been extremely well endured. We have almost every equipmentation that is required both at the undergraduate level or at the postgraduate level, and that was one of the reasons that we also have 7 centers of excellence. Now, these centers of excellence are absolutely world class. One of them in the geothermal area there are only 3 in the world. and therefore, in terms of equipmentation that we are well endured. And now in the post-COVID situation, we are looking at a certain level of technological intervention in terms of digital transformations or the virtual labs that we would now be conducting. The next semester, which starts toward the end of this month, it is not that the students will not be conducting any experiments. All branches of engineering have developed virtual experimentation, and therefore students sitting at home will be conducting those experiments through the virtual lab. And therefore, we are absolutely ready to take on this challenge and make our students extremely ready for the industry.
That's great. Dr. Dave, can you shower some highlight with respect to how we develop the technology infrastructure of PDPUs and how can that be leveraged in this post-COVID-19 world?
Is it for me?
Yeah.
So I think Professor Khanna has beautifully summed up what PDPU has. I'll just put it in one sentence only, that the university experience is a package. It's not in a solitary benefit. And therefore, I keep on saying that for any university, 3 P's are important. People, who are the people who are the teachers, who are the mentors, what industry support the university has, who are the members of board of governors, etc. The second one is the process, Professor Khanna was saying. And the third very, very important thing is place. So by place, I mean both the virtual laboratory facilities that Professor Khanna was talking about, as well as the on-campus facility that we have. So I feel very, very confident, and I have seen I joined university in 2007, when the university was in its inception stage. And the way the university has come up and the infrastructure and everything, I don't see any difficulty at all.
That pretty much sums up regarding the technology infrastructure of the university. Dr. Manohar, very interesting question to you specifically. You already talked about the 100-acre campus PDPU, and campus life is something which every student kind of looks forward to. And PDPU is known for its culturally enriching experience for the students, with campus flourishing with students and engaging in different enterprising and cultural activities. Do you see that getting impacted due to COVID-19?
The last sentence, can you repeat? Do you see what?
Do you see that getting impacted because of COVID-19 for the new station or the station restart?
No. I think we are going a step forward. In fact, UGC decided to conduct online exam before September, but PDPU took a very active decision to conduct online exam. We are about to publish the result. We have adopted to all the emergency decisions we had to take, but we are earnestly waiting for resuming the campus. In fact, half of our administration have already started coming to the campus on prescribed dates, and the management school has already commenced their online classes. We may first invite the management students to come on board, because management is a 100% residential program, and therefore we cannot keep them away from the residential facility, and also that's a different sort of learning process. So they will be coming in first, and then we will have the liberal arts coming in next. And because most of the liberal arts students are also day scholars, so they will be able to cope up with the pandemic restrictions. And then we will have the engineering technology students coming. But we are very forthright in going in starting the campus activities. And if the government guidelines are more conducive, we would like to have this happening from the last week of August. And we have several feedback from the students. Students are really anxious to get back because, as Professor Nigam pointed out, all these online engagements are beneficial, but they are limited because the human touch is involved. They want to literally see the teachers during the learning process. And therefore, the campus is completely sanitized. We have a campus managing system which is working round the clock. We hope that we will be able to take care of this situation in a very positive way. But definitely we have to be proactive. We should not succumb to the situation, rather stand over the situation and come through.
One of the pivotal questions coming from the audience is regarding what you actually said. What are the changes that are being done with respect to the hostel facilities and the recreational facilities on the campus?
Okay. Recreational facilities and what?
The hostel facilities.
Which one?
Hostel.
Hostel. Okay. Hostel facility is limited because we have around 2,000 odd inmates can stay. We have 3 towers, and that's where students stay. And of course, management students have exclusive hostel facilities. This is completely sanitized as per norms. Also, we have recruited a diagnostic facility where students will be tested, not merely checked for the temperature, but each person will be scrutinized. And I have to tell you that we have not shut down our hostel during this 120 days. In fact, we have over 200 international students who are stranded. They couldn't go. And our university has ably taken care of them, and not even one adverse situation has arisen during this 120 days of lockdown. We have taken care of our students, international students particularly, and they have been very safe. So our hostel facilities are premium. In fact, that's another very important hub of learning. They have exceptional sports facility, and their after college hours activities are very, very intense, and therefore we look forward to extending these facilities to the students when they come back. We are also creating a synthetic track for students in the sports complex. That will be a surprise addition to the students who are going to come new. And we also have, along the same lines, a lot of other facilities created in the main campus also.
That's quite great, and I think that's quite informative for the students and the parents who are kind of listening in this webinar. Sir, one of these another student question, audience question is regarding the changes in the admission scenario if the IIT JEE exam is not happening. I would request Dr. Khanna to throw some light on it. Is there any changes of the admission scenario if IIT JEE exam is not happening?
No, so far what we are aware of is that the NTA has announced that the JEE main will be conducted in the month of September. And therefore the admission to the 50% of the seats in PDPU will be through the JEE main. As I said before, we are taking students based on their performance in the January JEE main and are providing them admission. So the admission remains the same what it was before, 50% through ACPC, 50% to JEE.
Mr. Singh?
Yeah.
Mr. Singh, I also have to add one more thing to what Professor Khanna said. We have 4 schools, and 3 schools already the selection process is over. And one of the schools, that is Petroleum Management, has started its session. We are only waiting for SOT, that is School of Technology, mainly because we recruit students with JEE ranking. But for that, the application process is also getting over in a week from now, or maybe will be extended for 1 more week. but otherwise completed applications are already through. We are just waiting for the second JE exam. And unfortunately it got delayed further, so we will wait for the scores. Otherwise we would have completed the application process for School of Technology as well.
Great. All right. So that's all, and we'll have the closing remarks, starting with Dr. Nigam. Dr. Nigam, can we have the closing remarks and your messages to the students and the parents out there who are viewing this webinar and also will be viewing the video maybe later on as well. If you can help us with your views and the messages for the students as well.
No, I was just reading a book by Thomas Friedman. Thanks for being late.
Yeah.
And in that book, there's a line which says that you can dance in a hurricane, but only if you are standing in the eye of a hurricane. So we are living in an age of accelerators. Yeah. So this is going to be the new normal, the acceleration and in Industry 4.0 and its impact on the world is not going to die down. And therefore, the students need to find out their own eye of the storm so that they can have the dynamic energy and in the static energy. Yeah. So that's my message to students. Be prepared for the change. When the winds of change start blowing, some people build walls, some people build windmills. It is up to us.
Pretty strong message, Dr. David, pretty strong message. Dr. Sunil, can we have your message for the students and the parents out there?
I'll just pick up from what Professor Nigam said, that when the wind blows, windmills will be the ones which will get the maximum benefit. Yeah. And therefore, I think the message to the student is, this is a very minor disruption which may have occurred. The life will now go on. We are ready to have you on the campus as soon as it is permitted. The campus is extremely safe, and we look forward to working with you in the era of digital transformation and taking it further in your career.
Great, Dr. Khanna. Dr. Manoharan, can we have your thoughts, sir? Can we have your thoughts on the remarks to the students?
Yeah, thank you. I just want to tell you that PDPU's treasure is students, and PDPU's faculty are treasured. So we definitely value the presence of the students, and we really look forward to engaging with them. My sincere advice to the new aspirants, if you are thinking about PDPU as your choice, I have to tell you that don't settle for mediocrity in life when the best lies before you. So your choice undermines what you really go for. So I am encouraging the students as well as the parents, always aspire for the best. Don't settle for the mediocrity. And the best lies before you. And the PDPU will be there to cherish your dreams, and we would be there to really offer the sort of education that you have been longing for, the higher education. And we will certainly make sure that PDPU will be one of the excellence and higher education institutions for your wards to come and learn from our campus. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Manoharan. Thanks a lot, Dr. Khanna, and thanks a lot, Dr. Nigam. That's all from our side, folks, and thanks for joining in. That was PDPU for you, and hope you guys will be joining them very soon and joining their very culturally enriching campus once the campus is reopened. Thanks a lot for joining today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you.